which at 133 gets the 7-2 decision. 141 here. We've got Briar Priest for the Panthers taking on Matthew Martino of Princeton.
Matthew Martino, Jason, he's a true freshman starting at a Division I wrestling program.
About that. Not to be proud of there for Martino. And how's that for a tough task going up against not only the number 32 wrestler in the 141 class, but a guy who has experience in Briar Priest, a redshirt junior who started his wrestling career in college in 2022 and is now in his 4th season. So you've got a true freshman going up against a veteran here.
Right, and not only that, last season Briar Priest qualified for the national championship. So he's not only bringing 4 years of experience to the mat, he's bringing 4 years of experience against ranked competitors to the mat.
Really good season for Priest a season ago, and he is another one of those local guys. He went to Hempfield Area High School, Greensburg, PA. Seeing what the freshman Martino can do here in his first duel as a collegiate wrestler. Martino and Priest actually do have one common opponent, despite the fact that Martino just started his career, and he does get the 3-point takedown. Really impressive stuff. But anyway, Martino wrestled against Lorenzo Frezza of Columbia in that Princeton Open a couple of weeks ago and lost in a decision. And Frezza was actually a guy that Priest was able to beat at NCAA's last season. So that's kind of the one benchmark you have to go off when you think about these two guys. And Katie Martino going to be very happy about that start.
Yeah, you would imagine that he would be happy about such a start. It was such a beautiful slide by, able to go in on that double leg. I think Priest just was standing up a little bit too much. He wasn't as low to the ground. His levels were a little bit off, but he has a lot of wrestling left to go.
Priest was a state champion at Hempfield High School, had a tremendous career there, accumulated a record of 136 wins and just 23 losses. A little bit of a pause in the action here. Minute 26 remaining in this first period. Oh, looks like they actually might have been reviewing. Can't quite tell, Katie, if they were reviewing the Martino takedown or possibly seeing if there was another one. And yes, we do now see the Martino takedown points come off the board. So the officials say no takedown to Matthew Martino. And, well, we just talked about that great start he had, and unfortunately he gets it wiped off. So still impressive, the tone that Martino has set in the match, but going to have to work a little bit harder to get some points in his favor. We're back to 0-0.
Martino's had a very demanding presence on the mat, especially in high school, 4-time Idaho state champion. He's very used to going out there and being able to dominate his opponents. College, it's a little bit of a learning curve, and he's seemed to do well with it so far. Yeah,
I mean, takedown or not, he clearly has held his own through the first period here, and 40 seconds remaining in the first. No points, no riding time in either side. Martino given a point there. Looked like a stalling call win against Briar Priest. So can tell that Martino is not making things easy for Priest here. Again, Briar Priest, the number 32 guy at the 141 class. And Princeton head coach Joe Dubuque, gotta like what he's getting from Matthew Martino here at 141. What a start. After the first period, it's going to be Martino ahead with the 1-0 lead. And Katie, even though the score is only 1-0, you have to think Martino maybe gets some mental points for knowing that there was a point where he had to take down on the board against an experienced wrestler like Priest.
Right, wrestling's definitely a mental sport, and whenever you put the numbers together, an 18-year-old against a 21 or 22-year-old, it might seem a little daunting at times, but he's gone out there and he's commanded a lot of this match, and I think he's showing that right now.
What do you see here early in the second period differently about Priest starting on top and trying to change kind of the dynamic this match has taken?
Priest has been a pretty good wrestler on top. He was last year as well. You can see him trying to work in the leg lace and maybe start trying to work in a half, but his hips are up, so there might be room for an escape.
Now both guys on their feet. And you can see that left foot of Priest. He had it at the back of the right leg of Martino for a moment. Now working on the edge of the mat. See if Martino can get out. And they are out of bounds again, so minute 2 remaining. Second period here. It gets to a point, Katie, you talk about wrestling being a mental sport. When you are the ranked guy, the more experienced guy, it gets to a point where you're trying to get points on the board, but we're now under a minute in the second period. Priest needs something to go his way.
Right, at this point you have to have a sense of urgency. He's getting these big mat returns, which is what you need to see, especially since he's down 1-0. If he's here, he can accumulate a little bit of time, but it looks as though he just got the escape.
Yep, Martino gets the escape, puts him up 2-0. Now remember, 3-point takedown would give Priest the lead. So very much still anyone's match, and we're going to have one more period to go after these 25 seconds expire. So one of the tighter matches we've seen tonight. Got a major decision to start things off, and then Talmadge mostly commanding through the 133 match, but this is a good one here at 41. And the true freshman, Matthew Martino, with an opportunity to pull what would certainly be an upset over Priest. And he is going to get the takedown just before time expires in the second period. Matthew Martino making a big mark here with 1 period to play. That's really impressive stuff to finish out the period and find a way to get a takedown in the closing seconds.
Right, at this point, both of the wrestlers are exhausted. Wrestling is such an equal sport. You're going against someone who is the same size or a similar size to you, and you're going through the motions, and you're fighting someone who is just as strong as you are, so you have to find a way to outmuscle them either mentally or physically.
And Martino starts out on top in the third period. So Briar Priest going to need to escape, and then on top of that, he's going to need a couple of takedowns. An escape plus 1 takedown would only get him to 4. So Matthew Martino very much in control here, but a lot of time left. Minute 46. And Priest does have a riding time advantage of 1 minute, but with Martino on top, you're going to see that start to dwindle. Priest does get away. Now we'll see what he can do on his feet. 5-1 is the Martino lead here in the third period. Martino with an opportunity to beat a ranked wrestler in the very first duel of his collegiate wrestling career. Now Priest with a response, and he gets the takedown. Makes it 5-4. Sets up an exciting finish here at 141. Priest trying to make a last-minute push. And he's got the riding time working in his favor now as well. That has just gone over a minute for Briar Priest. So at the very least, he thinks he can get this to 5-5. Still riding Martino. And 1 point given to Martino makes it 6-4. 20 seconds remain. Fans in the fieldhouse on their feet. Briar Priest coaching staff urging him on. 10 seconds remain to take one final shot. And it's not going to be enough as Matthew Martino gets a big win. The true freshman from Eagle, Idaho, takes down the ranked wrestler for the Panthers in Briar Priest.
I mean, Jason, wrestling is anyone's game any day of the week, and that's exactly what we just saw.